this struggle, I am confident that the man of culture has an important role and that the political leader can only succeed by culture in the struggle and placing it in the vanguard of the nationalist movement. YUH is a time to subvert all sense of what is considered deceit by letting go of self-conscious body image. I say that mass today is a powerful political statement against respectability, politics, and policing of the female body. Now, I don't participate in Carnival anymore. It has been quite a few years when I've been abroad, and now I found myself regarding how Carnival has been destroyed for good. I heard National Carnival Commission Chairman Winston Gypsy Peters and former Chairman Colin Lucas speaking on the radio not too long ago about the Carnival launch that took place. Gypsy mentioned that the launch was earlier than previous years so as to give people time to plan their affairs so that they could come to TT for Carnival. Gypsy also mentioned that over the years, the number of visitors to TNT for Carnival has declined. Well, surprise, surprise. He gave several reasons. However, I paid strict attention and I noticed that he was careful not to comment on the bikini and beads mass. If locals are not paying to see the naked mass, then why should the tourists? Every year after Carnival, a post-mortem takes place. We never hear the details, but I hasten to add, who listens to opinions or suggestions? I'll tell you why. Because it is the same old, same old. Am I being regressive? I hardly think so. Truth be told, masqueraders go after what is offered. The stress of life needs to be released. The Carnival stage provides that for many, a gain of which the band leaders are fully cognizant. In the final analysis, the band leaders fill their pockets and they laugh all the way to the bank. Thank you. Gone are the days of storytellers like the Bailey Brothers, Edmund Hart, Stephen Lee Young, Ron Carrot, Peter Minchell, Brian McFarlane, etc., whose masks depicted characters and told stories of our great country and international history. Currently, band leaders hire designers who throw colors together in bikinis dressed with feathers and beads with no story, no reference points. The bands also consist of disorganized masqueraders who only want to have fun. I'm not against fun. At the same time, more and more people are staying away from the dead carnival. Some go to camps and beaches, some fly on. There were days when people stood in the street after 6 p.m. waiting for Minchell and Peter Samuel. And I'd like to include now a calypso which I loved in the 70s by Sparrow called Priest. Emphasizes the attitude of the time to stay away from Carnival. And if you know the word, every year is the same old thing. Carnival Day, on the beach we going, but this year, instead of the sun, I'll be jumping up with some young woman. Yes, I'm going in town today. Tell Daddy everything I say. He played priest, don't call me no number. I'll jump in like hell when I reach it. With madness, William Sally. This year I hear costumes more pretty. Since I can't sleep, I hear one fool. I will drink me rum and get any more. are going in town today. Tell Daddy everything I say. He playing this, don't call me no down. I'm jumping like hell when I reach in town. Steve and man, go leave you a child. Keep away from them, they're too wild. You're a virgin, last week so he said. Ah, when the truth come out, I'm sure he heard it. Yes, mommy, I'm going in town today. Tell Daddy everything I say. He playing priest, don't call me no gun. I'm jumping like hell when I reach it. Thank you. Thank you. Now people are still leaving their foreign homelands to come, to Trinidad for Carnival. I can understand that years ago. But this next song captures the mood. And the only man who could sing this sang it. And I sang it. Montreal is nice, Sherry, but I'm feeling bad. It's Carnival time, honey, back in Trinidad. I got to hear the tune of the pan, beating of the pan, with so much woman in the place, shaking up the waist. And when it's past for so, I got to be there. Hey, on my jacket, woman, I'm going home straight. Carnival in 68, oh my. This one will be great. Carnival in 60, yes, baby. I really can't wait. Carnival in 68. If you keep me back, Sherry, that is misery. Darling, I just have to be back in my country. I really can't sing the calypso like an Eskimo. Not even dripping snow from the head to toe. Show me the road to Trinidad before I go back. Let on the jacket, woman, I'm going home straight. Carnival in 60, oh man, this one will be great. Carnival in 68, baby, I really can't wait. Carnival in 68. Expo was spectacular, now it's time to roll. Yes, I'm leaving Vancouver too cold. You know I know you like plenty rum, so you better come. Yes, come along with me so that you can see the world's greatest festival. We call Carnival. Let on the jacket, woman, I'm going home straight. Carnival in 68. Yes, woman, this will be great. Carnival in 68, baby, I really can't wait. Carnival in 68. Betty Sherry, au revoir. See you Ash Wednesday. Don't cry and make no uproar. I really can't stay. If you hear, I end up in the jail trying to stand the bail. Carnival fever in my brain driving me insane. I got the costume already, so darling, don't stop me. Let on the jacket, woman, I'm going home straight. Carnival in 68, baby, this one will be great. Carnival in 68, mama, I really can't wait. Carnival in 68, I hope I get late. Carnival in 68. Now imagine Sparrow singing that line, leg on my jacket, woman, I'm going home straight. Yeah. That is beautiful. Now, the late Lord Kitchener wrote the first Calypso love song. And it was a very slow rendition. Our cousin Leslie Lucky Samaru, who was the manager / owner of International Recording, came down and heard Fontley play it fast. And he ran right back. And Kitchener was recording with him. And he told Kitchener, no, don't do it slow, do it fast. And Kitchener took his advice. And to me, this is one of Kitchener's masterpieces. You know the words? Go along. Margie, you always make it rough. You could beg, you could plead, you can't keep me now. You always wanted me to make you so happy. Well, darling, I have the solution for your desire and ambition. Come, let me line, as the people say. This is the time on Carnival Day. I want you to come in town. Don't you let me down. Just throw on your morning duster. Oh, but you already know what duster is. Just throw on your morning duster and pick me up by Green Corner. I will be raging, Lord, it is said. I'll be painting the whole town red. We will make back and down for the carnival. Darling, there's no time to frown your face. Or as Kitchener would say, as Kitchener would say, darling, there's no time to frown your face. You could twist, you could whine, you could shake your waist. You must forget the past. Do let me play, we must. For now is the time to have some fun and let bygone be bygone. Come, let me line, as the people say. This is the time, this is Carnival Day. I want you to come in town. Don't you let me down. Just throw on your morning duster and pick me up by Strand Corner. I will be raging, Lord, it is said. I'll be painting the whole town red. We will make back and down for the carnival. Last verse. Do. Now we're jumping in a band. You could move as you like. Look, grab any man. You got to make your play, darling. Then you dingole and you dance so nicely and enjoy my company. Come, let me line, as the people say. This is the time, this is Carnival Day. I want you to come in town. Don't you let me down. Just throw on your morning duster and pick me by Malice Corner. I will be raging, Lord, it is said. I'll be painting the whole town red. We will make back and down for the carnival. One more time. Come, let me line, as the people say. This is the time, this is Carnival Day. I want you to come in town. Don't you let me down. Just throw on your morning duster and pick me up Malice Corner. I will be raging, Lord, it is said. I will paint the courthouse when we will make back and down for the carnival. At least the courthouse looks good me. I love Margie, ladies and gentlemen. It has some fantastic chord changes. Okay, let's get going. Let's keep going, I should say. Ladies and gentlemen, he got mentioned, but I'd like you to greet George Mirage, ladies and gentlemen. He's been a mover and a shaker in the cultural business until he decided to relocate. But happily, he's come back to Trinidad for the season, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Mr. George Mirage there in the back.
Ainsley,
so
I'd just like to recognize a Calypsonian in the crowd.
Please do.
We have to go. This is Mr. Dimaso.
Yes.
He's a top Calypsonian. Don't mind, you don't hear about him. Very good point. And we're covering that. When you have a Calypsonian in a lecture as this, you know you're going somewhere.
I am honored.
Right?
I am honored.
So am I.
A little bit of born history. It's down to the front.
Oh, sorry.
I thought I wanted to. The cedula of population of 1783 laid the foundation and growth of the population of Trinidad. The Spanish who were in possession of the island contributed little towards advancement, with El Dorado the focus, making Trinidad perfect due to its geographical location. French planters with their slaves, free-colored and mulattoes from neighboring islands of Martinique, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Guadeloupe and Dominica migrated to Trinidad during the French Revolution. The Spanish also gave many incentives to lure the settlers to Trinidad. This included exemption from taxes for 10 years and land grants in accordance to the terms set out in the cedula. These new immigrants established local communities of Blanchisses, Chamfleur, Cascade, Carenage, and Laventille, or Laventille, as it is popularly known. Trinidad's population jumped to over 15,000 by the end of 1789, from just under 1,400 in 1777. A period of 12 years. Look at that jump. In 1797, Trinidad became a British crown colony with a French-speaking population. The exodus of human movement was fostered due to the French Revolution. Through the foundation of ethnicity, and it remained predominantly African from the beginning of 1845, major influences of indentured immigrants from India and other parts of the world dramatically changed the ethnic profile of the islands. These indentured servants brought their own folk music primarily from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar to the Creole mix, resulting in chutney music. In addition to Indians, Syrians, Portuguese, Chinese, and Africans, they came to the islands in waves between 1845 and 1917 and ever after. Major influences of the French brought the Catholic ritual of Christian Shrove Tide, extending from the Christmas/New Year period that tied into pre-Lenten celebrations full of bodily freedom and hedonism. This consequently turned into the modern notion of carnival as we know it. Traditional carnival activities were derived and brought to Trinidad from West African religious cultures and societies. Originally, carnival was strictly for the white elites, similar to Mardi Gras of New Orleans, and was celebrated through masquerade bands, house parties, and street parades with carriages. Middle-class people of color and African slaves were not allowed to participate in carnival activities except when slaves were performed. In its stead, white upper-class society would dress up as black men and women to display carnivalesque practices and the racist notions that black men were childish and black women were hypersexual. After the emancipation of slaves in the British Americas, August 1st, 1834, African slaves reenacted Carnival by taking to the street in celebration of their recently found freedom. This festivity associated Africans with carnivalesque practices and were racially stigmatized as savage, vulgar, and dangerous by the white elite. This eventually led to white withdrawal of participation as well as hostile journalistic representations of Carnival. Let us pause to consider deja vu. Port of Spain, what's the makeup of most bands? It's white people. Leaving the locals, the blacks, and when I say blacks, I mean East Indians, I mean non-whites, to stand on the side and hold a barrier, separating the public from the masqueraders. And this leads me to a little trivia. You've heard it before, those of you who have attended my lectures. In the late 50s, it was the given. The military mass was the thing. And a movie called To Hell and Back, starring America's most decorated hero, the late Eddie Murphy, was the big movie at the time, so naturally bands would replicate that. And I remember, I'm pretty sure you remember this, maybe Dave, Big George. The end of To Hell and Back had Eddie Murphy jumping on a tank and going into the German holdings and just killing them. He killed 275 Germans doing that. I remember, was it Free French that played it? And they had a tank, you know, a makeshift tank. But the band leader was stymied for a white boy to portray the blues. White people didn't play mass. And he had to go to Presentation College and beg a six-faller, a white boy, to get behind the tank and wave it around. I remember it coming on Coffee Street. And into hell and back, Audie Murphy went, the actor, and it's a true story, when it got the hold of him and he just killed. He just went. And you remember the scene? His teeth were gritting and he was, and the white boy was like this. He hid, and you know why? He didn't want his colleagues to know if his name is Bert. They didn't want the colleagues to know, hey look, Bert playing mass with the old raps and them. So when we see Bert in Presentation Ash Wednesday, you give Bert a good calling for. Isn't that ironic, ladies and gentlemen? Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago is celebrated before the commencement of the Lenten season. From 1783, and for the following half a century, the French developed their carnival. This was notable because it was a season of gay and elegant festivities extended from Christmas to Ash Wednesday. These festivities consisted of dinners, balls, concerts, and parties. The Africans started to participate in the festivities from 1833, after the Emancipation Bill was passed. Remember, 1830 was emancipation. The Africans brought canboulay to the festivities. Canboulay was first played on August the 1st, Emancipation Day, but subsequently took place after midnight on the Marsh Gras, the Sunday before Carnival. In the early celebration of the festival by the masses, activities were held over the 3 days preceding Ash Wednesday. 3 days. However, in the face of over 60 years of criticism from the upper class about the low standard of Carnival and strong feelings expressed about the desecration of the Sabbath, in 1945, Carnival on the street was restricted to Monday and Tuesday. Carnival celebrations were banned for the duration of World War II, 1939 to 1945. And in 1946, they didn't have any carnival. Kitchener made a little mistake in one of his lyrics. He said 1946. But anyway, we will leave the old man alone. We will leave the old man alone. Folks, you've seen some names here. Traveling Light. Everybody can see? Rudy Legal. Who here remembers Rudy Legal apart from here? Massman. Excellent massman. He used to build his mass across the street right next to the building where we live. Sil Dobson from Irving Street, Dobson's. The man had carnival and mass music in his veins. Sadly, Sil passed about 10 years ago. About 6. You should know Ernest. Yes, sadly. But Sil Dobson, a walking library of carnival and mass. You know Sid, George. And Sid could play a quattro. My gosh. He also played clarinet. He played clarinet on that LP Kaiso 1 and 2. But Sid could have pulled a banjo and quattro. And I had the esteemed pleasure of playing my guitar along with Sid while he was playing his quattro. He lived in Woodbrook on Connor Street. I don't know that. You should know what Connor Street is. He lived there with his wife, Ophelia. Sadly, he passed a few years ago. Yes, I miss Sil very much. The man knew music. Now, the lead up to Carnival was very important because part of it was going High Street or Frederick Street, if you're in Port of Spain, to buy your costume, your glitter, your swans down, and all the rest of it. And I don't think anybody captured the excitement that led up to Carnival like Kitchener did. And Kitchener would painted the atmosphere at the time. And I would like you to let your imaginations travel a bit to another time in Trinidad and Tobago. This is Kitchener. Start to roll on top. Start to roll on top of my bed. Start to roll on top of my bed and a pelting boom. Hit my girl on top, she head till she move, she foot. Tell my girl to get some rum, she must bring it fast. When it reach, I drink it all and I break the glass. They send me the doctor. Out. Yeah, it is.
No, the other one.
Okay, that's right. Okay, this plugged in. Sorry, we start again. Start to roll on top my bed and a pelting book. Hit my girl on top, she head till she move, she foot. Tell my girl to get some rum, she must bring it fast. When it reach, I drink it all and I break the glass. They send for the doctor, man doctor pro. Well, the doctor shout, nothing to alarm about the symptoms. He catching the symptoms. Hold me, they think I'm crazy. Symptoms, he catching the symptoms. Don't know why they should say so. Leave the house like a hungry goat, now my head is bad. My favorite line, guitar in hand and I down the road like a staring man. Meet a girl in front, high low, well I grab, sorry. Meet a girl in front, massy dog, I grab she hand. I say, darling, Mary, why must those be inside a van? She say, Mr. Kitchener, I will breed it. Well, you either sick or you are a lunatic. These symptoms, you catching these symptoms. Hold me, you think I'm crazy. I like this verse. In the street, I tell a Maxi I want a drop. Making sure that he drop me at a record shop. When I reach, I tell him please only start to play. Then I gone down on my knees and I dingo-lay. A couple of ladies whispering behind, like get out the mind. The more they talk, the more I whine. The symptoms, they capture the symptoms. I hope you see where Kitchener was going with that. He was reliving the excitement that was Carnival preparations. Now, how many of you folks here know that in 1976, Carnival fever was so high that spiritually it got into the heart of a stone and brought the stone away. How many of you already know that? Are you making this up? You knew that, George? You know where I'm going with this?
No.
Aye, aye, aye.
A man in the stone or?
Not quite. Winsfield the Veen wrote this. And he gave it to Sparrow. And I don't know, all you hear of what you know a fellow named Bambi. You know Bambi. Bambi told me in 76. You know Bambi. Bambi. From Sparrow Street. Bram's Baby World.
Yeah, okay.
He told me, when he played with I played in the band with him, he said this is one of the best calypsos he ever heard. 76. I come out to wave, I come out to shake off my tail on a wonderful scale. And as bail it is, my friend, I want it to be first class. Joy, peace, love, fun, and mass. For so many years on my pedestal, I had stood that what I saw looked so good. Wait there. So tell them people, I am a statue in the heart of town. I like the way they play and I like the things they say. So for 76, Juve and Spiral alone could sing that. Coming down, coming down. I'm coming down, I'm coming down. Look man, Spiral. I'm coming. Only Sparrow could get away with that. And Sparrow took the cake with her, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am going to get to a part of this lecture that I really want to, but first, I'm going to yield the floor.
Say
She hear the beat of our steel band and the battle in our horn. She leave the pot on the fire and she gone. Carnival is nice, Carnival is sweet. I don't mind she take she jump, but leave me something to eat. Whenever she come, Lord, that is bacchanal. She go tell she move, she want, she freedom for Carnival. Well, I ordering Lex, well, it's leather in she face. Get she out the house, let Carnival find she a place. All I hear, she jumping up inside a van. She prancing up, I understand. Everybody had to say how they see she decorate, and she digging soul like a 10-year-old. She reason dumb, she must be mad. She hear the beat of a steel band and the simple sound of a horn. What she do? She leave the pot on the fire and she gone. Last verse. I walk in a fit with bruise on my feet. I walk on for miles and miles and I reach Henry Street. Well, the captain called, "Kid Chief, you're looking for Ann. You're 1 minute late, she just gone with Captain Ann." She jumping up inside a van. She playing up, I understand. Everybody had to say how she see she'll get played, get fine and all. So, like a 10-year-old, she racing down, she must be mad. She hear the beat of a steel band and the simple song of a horn. What she do? She leave the pot on the fire and she gone. For our actor and actress ladies together. Yeah, I rather like that. And Kitchener again captures it. In that day, she leave the pot on the fire and she gone. She had the payments. We moving on now. Back in the day, there was an energy to the build-up of Carnival. The population respected Christmas. Christmas is coming. Hey, joy to the world, the Lord has come. They are touching Kaiso. But comes Boxing Day, that's when it started. And with Boxing Day started the tents. And the tents were an intrinsic ingredient leading up to Mass and Carnival. Without the tents, there would be no Carnival. Without Kitchener, there would be no Carnival. The tents were just that. They were makeshift sheds lit by flambeaux back in the day until electricity hit Trinidad and Tobago. And the thing about tents is that you heard the choice calypsos. And in those days, as Choctaws would say, that was Kaiso in them days. Not this this jam thing that we are facing these days, ladies and gentlemen. And one element of the tents that people look forward to was extended. Balabadebi babarabo, balabadebi babarabo. And ladies and gentlemen, I have it in red. Is sans humanity. Never mind the sans humanity junk that all they hearing. Trinbagonians have to spoil every damn thing. Sans humanity. And I'm sure all of you know that that term means without mercy. So when Mr. Sam sings a verse, he is challenging Mr. James. When he finishes his verse, he says, sans humanity, Mr. James. Back that up or beat me with it. And Mr. James would sing his verse, and he would call Master Luke next, and he'd say, sans humanity. It's a challenge. He threw down the gauntlet. So we are now going to embark on one of my favorite spots in my lectures. Extempo, ladies and gentlemen. If I could get a little volume on the mic, that would be nice. And this is the start, the music. And I need a volunteer just to pass the mic to the victims. Yes, you stay right here and we will go. There we go. This is the opening. If you can get some volume on the mic, please, Mr. Ramjit Singh. Just say testing 1, 2 on the mic.
Testing.
No.
Testing.
It's off.
No, it's on.
No, let me see. Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Nothing.
Testing. No.
There you go. Okay, try it.
Testing.
Right on. And this is the opening. So I see no lip trembling already. A special segment in any show that deals with Kaiso is the following. As you know, the Trinbago skill at extempo. Extempo is critical, a vital part of we Carnival. So here is your chance. When you finish, you must say,
Sans humanity.
You got that right. I'll now pick number 1 from the crowd. When you finish, please give an applause. Not yet. Not yet. The example champ waited there. I'll now pick number 1 from the crowd. When he or she finish, give an applause. And with no further ado, my brother Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I really did make the time to sing something that would really rhyme. But all of you who hear me before know that I always make top score. So it is nice to have you all here because you are all very dear. But I will sing again next year, and I might come better right here.
All right! Now she hiding in the back. Is she Stetson Jack? Ladies and gents, I call on this one, and she will give us with the fashion. I call on passion. Balabadebi babarabo, balabadebi babarabo. Sans humanity.
Welcome everybody to the show. I come to Bossa Extempo. I want to show off my vocabulary down here in Sanwo Library. But back to the historian could sing. This is real quality, top notch thing. All I have to say is how was it Carnival out here in the Bacchanal. That is all I really have to say. Hey-ha!
Sans humanity.
Folks, now we are moving along with this simple song. I would like to call without a pause. He came from Toronto, but he's a Trinidad to it. And I would like without further watch my buddy George.
Yes,
Well, fellas, all you know that I love me Kaiso, but to stand up here and to sing, I want to challenge me by something. Now, what do you think it is very nice? You're the feelings of paradise, and all I want to say is, what you say?
sans humanity.
All right, boy. Go. Well, folks, it's nice to be here in this library out there. I am no singer, as all you know, but you can play mass and freight powder. You're going to sing and sing, and you could sing anything. But what kind of chord you give me look like you're out of time and humanity.
Now he's sitting there, over there, he playing, he's singing tall, but not at all. He dig in the grave,
Paso,
I call on Dave.
Backlash.
Dave, take the mic, here you go. Okay, take it, you next.
I listen to all you talk about your mass. Come extempo, I find you fast. When it come to real extempo, you will have a class with all the ones so. You notice my rhymes are clean, and the lyrics they're not so mean. All of you will have to pay for what you learn here today.
Thank you, my day. All right. Now the man, no sub, you will get your job. I'm speaking with Grave. This is Dave. Dave, you know you can't get away. And you know it's sans humanity. So take the mic, Dave. Away you go.
Well, you people here just like me, with your charm and wine and all kind of party. But nowadays we have the time. Is either that or it have too much crime. And look back and see, and let's grow, and let's leave all the jamming and whining to do only at home.
This next man, he brave. He's not any crave, but he was trembling yesterday when I told him he had a walk, and I gave him a bomb because the bomb had to cover. We not here, Mr. Jacob. His name is Mr. James, fella in the red jersey. Sans humanity.
It is a real pleasure to come and watch you lecture about the history of Calypso. It is something we need to know, but although Jacob is not here, he must be somewhere trembling in fear, because he knows that I am the king. Can you hear it?
Now he's sitting there quietly. He tells me, oh, he's so good. So let's be sure. And here he is in the second row. And he will take our place. Give the mic to Brother Bates. This one here. Did everyone face your audience, sir?
Yeah, never say what is your nice.
Roxo. You're back to the old.
Well, this is a great glory to have a man like Mr. Lockley reminiscing and educating the people here in San Bernardo. I appreciate this idea and I hope that we'll be doing more trials. God bless you, Mr. Lockley, and I hope you're
Thank you. Now he's sitting there quietly.
tea. I'll get my boys later. We go try and get G. When we get G, transhumanity.
Ainsley, I think we should let you crowd sing one. What do you think?
Let the crowd sing one? Sure.
Yeah.
Who, me?
No. Play.
Okay.
Everybody gonna sing, everybody sit down quiet, right?
Yeah, right. Good. On. That's what I'm doing.
Rum, sweet rum, when I call you, you're bound to come. Rum, glorious rum, when I call you, you're bound to come. It was made from Carnival cane, it was bottled in water stain. I will send Miss Copian to bite your Santi B. Alright! That's how it was a long time ago.
Next one. Give me the next one.
Okay, we go ahead. Well, folks, this man could get away in the past, but his luck won't last. He said 10 down in the back, and I warned him I'll attack. So without any galleons, Kenneth will bounce. Kenneth Williams, he have cold feet.
Well, you go sit down so, and I go tell the crowd, no. When get up and get up fast. Listen, sing like you're playing mass. When you come to only listen to me, what about your voice? You lost it completely.
Very good. Okay, we got it. Now I promise I'll do no harm. No, Mr. Sam? Not this time, alright. Alright, let's have a lady, another lady. Yes. No, not you. Okay. The lady with the microphone. Let me hear you. No? Okay, I'll ask for a volunteer. Who would like to volunteer? Mr. Alexis. Give it an alpha in the picture. Think about this one, I give you an intro. Barabadevi Babadabo, Barabadevi Babadabo, Barabadevi Baby, Sante. Take it away.
Mr. If you're lucky, you feel you can come on for me. Playing lawyer in San Fernando, when you speak really lecturing in UE. I said, it's time for you to write the curriculum so we can teach we children about Carnival to Sandy.
Any more volunteers? He's standing there quiet, but I will cause a riot. The man come late and go away. I will call on our cameraman to take the stand. Why, Mr. Hollis, stand in front of your camera?
Sandy man is there. Yes, man.
Take it, my Hollis.
Sit down, take a selfie. Sit down, take a selfie.
Right now we start thinking about what he's about to see. Well, I say,
Give my soap.
Wait, start again.
be afraid of this. No, not me. I only encourage it.
Give my soap the mic. You're singing good, sing for me.
I did my part already. I will go on and on with this. No.
Never heard it.
That's what I say.
This cameraman I want to sing. He only stand up there. I compromise. He only stand up there pointing at everybody. Listen, man, I tell you flat. It's time to done with this and do something other than that. Every time you take a picture of somebody, remember you could turn it wrong and take a picture of you too. Can't man is it. Just like you, man.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, before you go.
Absolutely.
We have a few people that
We'd like to get the name and number so that we could call you all for the other one, because the other one will have bigger and better. They get it bigger and better every time. We will call you, no fee.
I would like your names I put on the board. I commented about Rudy Legal. I commented, thank you. May I have it, please? Thanks for your help, man. Thank you, young lady. I commented on Rudy Legal at Sildos. Let us not forget Roland St. George. Ladies and gentlemen, Roland St. George departed 2 carnivals ago. Sadly, extremely talented man. You gone? Thanks for coming, huh?
Okay, Master.
All right. Roland St. George departed from this sphere. Sadly. Our brother, Ashley Lucky, I included him because he was a mass man. And I remember distinctly, you should remember Andrew. Ashley went to St. Mary's. We lived in San Fernando, so he boarded in Barataria. And he came down for Carnival. You remember Ashley, George? He came down for Carnival once and he told our father, who was this strict, no nonsense, no smiling man, he played mass. And our father, Amos, said no. And Ashley said, okay, I buy the costume already, so what are we going to do with it? And he eventually got away with playing mass. And I remember distinctly, he played Ivanhoe, you remember? And he had a staff, and I remember him coming down in the band, coming down Coffee Street, turning into Prince of Wales Street. That image is vivid in my mind, going down Prince of Wales Street, waving the band. Ashley was a mass man. He loved this carnival. Who remembers Asami Nanakia?
Deceased.
Yes, Japanese.
Yeah, all these folks. What? All these folks on the board are deceased.
Alias.
She
Japanese.
is the Japanese young lady who got killed
Panis.
in Woodford Square. And sadly, they have not found the perpetrator of that ugly crime. They say they find who killed Dana Sita Hall. I leave it up to you folks to decide. George Bailey, mass man par excellence. Clemmy George, a local legend.
A walking dictionary.
San Fernando man. Clemmy George. Jackie Samuel. Jackie Samuel was the man. And they broke the mold when Jackie Samuel was born. I remember Juve. You should remember this, Andy. Up that Standard, you know Standard up Upper Coffee Street.
Yeah.
Jackie was playing devil for Juve. And about 3 o'clock that morning, Jackie get a for you dog lovers, I have to give this story. Jackie gets a stray dog, break the dog neck. And for Juve, he had the dead dog around his neck.
Oh, Gee, Lucky. Oh, Gee.
That was the kind of man Jackie Samuel was. Another time, Farms Club, as always show Paula the spot. Jackie eating pilau. You know that story? And them boys come and the Tiffany little beef and the Tiffany chicken. And Jackie, you know, because Jackie had a voracious appetite. Jackie turned over the food on the floor, he's spitting it. And he said, oh, let come on, eat now. And Jackie knelt down a dog and he ate all the food. The spot is still there. If ever you folks go Palms Club, you're facing the stage, over there. At 2 o'clock is where Jackie Samuel spilled out food.
Yeah, he was a character.
That was a character. Please.
I wanted to share another one about Jackie with you.
You want the mic?
No, I think everybody...
Stand up.
Yeah. Jackie won Commonwealth medal at the Commonwealth Games for weightlifting. He was a champion weightlifter. And Jackie could have won the Olympic gold medal if he only trained. Jackie never trained, and he won a medal in the Commonwealth Games in Perth, Australia in 1962. Wow. And in fact, Jackie, unlike most of us, or all of us, the first thing on the news, I remember clearly, Jackie Samuel has won Trinidad and Tobago's first medal at this Commonwealth Games.
Wow.
And that is something. But a little joke I want to share if you're given.
Go ahead.
Roger Gibbon, he was on TV the other night. He was, I will still say, the best cyclist this country has ever produced. Because what the facilities fellas have now, Roger didn't have. He broke all records. He won Commonwealth gold medals and Pan Am gold medals, and the Olympics in Mexico in 1968. He got sick for it. He went down with, they call Montezuma's revenge, diarrhea in Mexico. Or he would have won gold. And Roger was the most dedicated training sports person in this country probably ever. So if you heard how that fella trained and slept and lived good. Roger gave me a little story, and this is the little joke I leave in for last. Roger said Jackie, you know, Roger was very hyped up. He took his training so serious. He was always tense and hyped up. And he said Jackie was the greatest stress reliever that he could ever have. In fact, he went to Pan Am, Commonwealth, other games, that he said at Piaco, whenever the Trinidad and Tobago team was leaving, he will quietly go to the manager and say, let Jackie and I share it. Because the two shared in a room in the hotels, whatever. So you'll ask the manager for Jackie to share with him. And he liked Jackie so much that he didn't know when Jackie passed on. That is about 10 years ago. And I met him right after the Oval at a test cricket at a match. We sat next to each other. And when I told him, he started to cry. And he gave me this little, this is the real joke I was thinking about. He said when they were going to the Commonwealth Games in Australia, in Perth, they always sat together on the plane too. And he said the plane developed some problem from San Francisco going over the Pacific. So they had to make an emergency landing in Hawaii. He said they were happy they were staying in Hawaii. And they would always put up the team in the nicest hotel. Roger said they stayed at the Hawaii Hilton, which, and I boasted, is probably one of the nicest hotel I ever seen. Anyway, and he said when they left Hawaii the next day, they were going direct to Perth, Australia. So he said when the plane, Roger is telling me with tears in his eyes, he said when we were about to touch down, Jackie said, Roger, if customs open your suitcase and they find a bedspread, that is mine, eh? So he said, Jackie, oh God, how you could do my that? You could teach the bedspread from Hilton. He said, but my suitcase was too small, he couldn't fit it. And the bottom line to is, he said, Roger, why you vexed? You don't want me to carry home anything for my mother?
That's the character.
So that was Jackie. So that's why I have to share that.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. We're getting to a serious part of my lecture.
We just want serious talk. Samuel.
Stand up and face your audience, Dave.
Alright. Alfando Protestant College saw a very illustrious principal by the name of Michael Samuel. That's the brother of Jackie Samuel. Yeah. I just put it down now. Yeah, right.
Ask Andrew. Andrew,
yes.
you're doing good.
Yes, yes, he was. Yeah.
Bear with me. Chalky, it's time for you to change your style and sing on things that are lewd and vile. Your topics and them are good, but the young people and them want small. People telling me, Chalky, like you're blind. Today is sex selling down the line. My boy, take for instance Shorty. His sex songs make plenty money. Well, my answer is simply, look, yes, son, is only a blind to what's going on. Man can't get gas, sugar, no onion. Famine in India killing millions. The world is suffering from inflation. The central bank bankrupt, no more funds. Venezuelans running from Maduro guns. Donald Trump remain with the Republicans. So understand, in every land on top, the world's corrupt. That's what we got, and you want me to sing but smart. I'd rather not. Train may go in God, but you want me to sing but smart. Chokers won the crown 1976, and the reason I performed that is to get to a very serious note about the state of Carnival. I quote, all our Carnival songs, all our Carnival movements have women feeling as if they have to get on like some kind of wajang. Carnival degrades women. Carnival songs degrade women, and men feel that it is okay to degrade them too. End of quote. Former Minister of Health, Dr. Fuad Khan. Quote, you never hear a soca saying to beat someone or kill somebody. I don't know how he made a connection. Soca helps you to relax. Soca is medicine. End of quote. Hollis, Mr. Killer Man. There's a controversy raging that the lyrics of some soca songs incite men to perpetuate violence on their partners. And I am speaking for Ainsley Lucky. I agree. Fuad Khan's view, Dr. Fuad Khan's view that Carnival and Carnival music reinforce harmful attitudes men have in relation to women has not been music to the ears of some soca fanatics. Neither is the argument new for Trinidad and Tobago, nor music making and loving Caribbean countries with their host of carnivals. While it's foolish to make music and not men responsible, Dr. Khan has nonetheless pointed to the underappreciated fact that culture has a big role to play in fighting misogyny. In social media video, the Barataria Sanwan MP provided a different angle on the apparent spike in violence against women in TT, which drew the attention of the nation after the murder of 3 women in the space of a few days. He told men to grow up. He also suggested the root of the problem is today's Carnival. Carnival causes it, Dr. Khan said. Carnival degrades women to the extent that men feel that it's okay to be degrading a woman. In all of our Carnival songs, in all of our Carnival movements, women feel that they have to be getting on, as I said, like a water. Khan's opinions follow a similar pattern of turning culture into a scapegoat. For as long as the media has existed, it has often been blamed for a breakdown in social values. Films, moralists say, are too violent. Novels are too gritty. Television is too graphic. Such thinking has often been rebutted by arguments suggesting that these media are ways in which society relieves itself of dangerous impulses. Famed horror director Wes Craven once remarked that horror films allow audiences to purge themselves of darkness not enacted. In relation to our music, it is not clear which has come first, the chicken or the egg. Is our music a reflection of pre-existing views, or does music shape those views, give people permission to act out? A 2013 Elon University undergraduate study of the influence of hip-hop and rap music on college students concluded that the latter is true. It gives people permission to act out. Continued audience exposure to misogynistic lyrics in popular rap hip-hop music influences college students' attitudes towards the issue of domestic violence, researcher Gretchen Condiff found. People are saying Dr. Khan is wrong to suggest the explicit sexualized content of music is, on its own, misogynistic. In fact, some may say music has empowered women to own their sexuality. I don't believe that. Woman is boss, I don't believe that that is the intention. I mean, look at Baxton going on. I have a picture of Baxton with Keith Differentala. Any children in the audience? No. Keith Differentala's pelvis is thrust into her backside. and she has this face. What is that? That's vulgarity, folks. That is telling little boys who are seeing that it's okay to wind up on a little girl. That is what that is saying. Music is ultimately a communal genre, one that connects us by showing us our universal experiences. I have a picture. I like to cut all these things and put it in my scrapbook. I didn't bring it today. Marshall Montano pull up a girl from the audience in a fete, and he whining on her ass, and his face has an animalistic. What is that? That's jail as far as I'm concerned. Because some little boy is going to watch Marshall Montano, not John James down Mucurapo Street, Marshall Montano, and say, if Marshall could do that, why I can't do that? Do I get an amen?
Yes.
I said when artists opt to bolster negative stereotypes without qualification, they give their audience implicit permission to persist in negative attitudes. That's the sour note of where mass is going and where mass is gone. Local music artists are partly responsible for fueling the negative way some men view women, as their lyrics portray women as sexual objects. Listen to this. Listen to this by Farmer Nappy. His name is Darrell Henry. He was forced to defend his tune Hookin' Men, which tells the story of a man refusing to leave after his woman breaks the relationship. Hear what he sang. Quote, if you want me to go, you can't be looking the way you do. You can't be cooking the way you do, because you're hooking men. The song drew criticism from women's groups, rightfully, who said it promoted a harmful message and glorified obsessive and possessive tendencies in men. Thank you, Mr. James. Say it loud, I don't think you heard you. Henry at that time, Farmer Nappy, and by the way, Farmer Nappy won the Sunshine Awards. And George would know about that in New Jersey. Henry, Farmer Nappy at that time, spoke out and urged men not to take my music literally, but to walk away once a woman ends the relationship. Dr. Khan's comments didn't sit well with the soca world, who said music is for entertainment. How the hell could whining on Chibansi be entertainment? You tell me. And not to be taken literally. Listen to Jerome Priscilla. His stage name is Rome. He called Khan a fool. But hear what this man sings. Quote, he is known for his risque double entendre lyrics, including, I want the pony, Annie. I live in your vagina and I want pussy. You want to tell you? I want the pony, Annie. I live in your vagina. Now he's trying to say for China. But the way it come out, I live in your vagina and I want pussy. APOOSEE. But you don't see that as subtitles when you're hearing the music. You hearing a pussy, right, and you hearing a vagina. Right. I blame this, I put it in the lap of Crazy. The minute Crazy came out with Nanny Wine Dong so. I don't know. I have told Crazy Soto Voce softly, not a characteristic for me, as Mr. Sam would know my voice. Crazy started the road downhill with his jump. Nanny wind down so and lick donkey nanny. Yes. Oh God, what does that mean? Anything but vulgarity. Please.
Sorry, Deputy Essential. That came out, I think, before that.
I think 70s. That is Deputy Essential.
And Penguin, and I think that Deputy Essential promotes infidelity.
I agree. Yeah, pardon me one second. Oh, sure. There's some feedback from someone in Toronto right now that Hollis, our kindly photographer, would like to share with this audience.
Okay, this is Joel Amugam, a schoolmate of mine from San Fernando. He's in Toronto and he says, Joel Amugam, hi Hollis, I'm here in Toronto looking at San Fernando Calypso stroke cultural historians, Ainsley and George, in the Sando Library. Wow. Good show, fellas.
Thank you, first. I am not going to turn my head on the earlier double entendre. Kitchener was the master of it.
Yeah.
Sparrow? I always crack up when I hear pussy laughing at me. But the way that is structured, it can conceivably be a pussycat with false teeth in its mouth. But not this day and age where they're leaving nothing to the imagination. Nothing at all.
Raw and breeze.
I mean, Kitchener sang a song, Saxophone. And I challenge anyone to tell Kitchener the woman wasn't playing it. But the mind goes as to the sexual connotation. But Kitchener said the woman was playing it.
Is another one by Kitchener, Dr. Kitch?
Dr. Kitch. Yes, those men. I mean, God, we've lost them. Sparrow. George will have a better hold on how Sparrow is. You want to tell us? You know?
About
Sparrow, how are we doing? How is he doing?
still walking with a cane, but still very lively.
Oh.
Yeah, he's singing anything too, but he's walking with a cane.
Yes.
But still perform.
Yes. Good, good. You keep in touch with him, eh? Yeah. But Kitchener challenged people. And he had a bad stammer. Did we know that?
Yes.
Kitchener, tell him my father.
Stammer when he talk, but he sing without stammering.
He sang without stammering. But Kitchener, he masked his calypso so expertly that nobody can say Kitchener anymore. Please.
Yeah, class.
A story on Kitchener.
Please.
I tell him, I said, Kitchener, you're singing smart. He said, oh, me. I never sing smart in my life. How about the song Mount Olga? Who is the mountain, that ship called Mount Olga?
Yeah.
So when I tell him about that, he said, he ever with me. He is the king of smart. Somebody said Dr. Kitch. Saxophone, not only saxophone, it was so intense. He sang saxophone number 2. Another version. The same smart.
Yeah. But agree with me that that kind of suggestion is a far cry from what we what we get into this. So, with the utmost respect, I do not know Farmanapi, I do not know this Rome, and I don't want to know them. As far as I'm concerned. That is why I open with chalk dust. Now, as Andrew has always told me, if Chalky really brought smart, it would have been a classic kind of smart.
You have to look for it.
Remember Adorine? You remember Adorine? He left it up to the listener. Yes. So back to my thesis, folks. I believe Dr. Khan is right.
Yeah.
I believe the soca lyrics have crossed the border. They haven't raised any bar. They've crossed the border. And look at what's happening. Preschool principal Giselle Philippe Fournillier was stabbed to death in the presence of her young pupils by a man known to her. On Thursday, 2 weeks ago, 28-year-old Gabriel Dubarry was shot and killed at a Faizabad home with his advocate by a man known to her. Why? The man couldn't take no. She said it's over. Sinatra sang it. It's over. Nobody wins. This man killed the poor woman. That same day, police responded to a triple murder at Getwell Avenue off Pinto Road, Arriba, where Pauline Chunising, her brother Damien Chunising, and the uncle Canadian citizen Randy Chunising was strangled to death. All prompted by the lyrics. We have been desensitized to killing these things. And in a way, we have to look at what we see on the screen, where when they kill somebody, the director says cut, the actors get up and they go back to the trailer. In real life, when they say cut, Chuni sing again up?
No.
Chuni sing down forever.
Yeah.
The lyrics in local music talk about infidelity, they talk about nudity, about private parts, jam and wine and abomsi, and things of that ilk. It promotes infidelity on both sides, and it promotes that kind of behavior. But it is accepted. I don't know if people come to see that. To me, that is distasteful to the highest. Please, come closer. Share your thoughts. Share your thoughts. Come closer.
This way.
Do you think music also influences the kind of costumes that people wear? Because now you have more bikini masks, you have less bikini, more body, and if the music is saying that, do you think that has a lot of influence on the mass, the costume makers as well? Because we have new costume makers, and a lot of them are now moving. I mean, it's really the two-piece, sometimes one-piece, rather than the full prototype, which are.
I would say yes, miss.
Because that's been around for a while since.
Yes. Any thoughts on that? Please, this is audience participation.
Comment. We didn't hear properly.
Let's like why I asked you. Let's take center stage. Come. Center stage.
Where's the mic?
I'm asking.
You
No,
can
I
mic
have
it.
a big mouth.
You want the mic here?
No, I get it. I can talk loud. Do you think that the music has influenced the costume makers, the mask makers now? Because the music is saying one thing, and now the costume you're seeing are two-piece, one-piece in some situation. It's not the fully clothed costume you see before. In fact, fully clothed is usually the older people who are accustomed to the long-time music. That's what I'm asking him, and he's saying yes, because the music in sync with the nakedness and the rubbing up and because you don't tend Juve has been particularly bad now. It's almost.
Let us hear some thoughts from the audience, Mr. Alexis.
No, the costume and the music, they're going in sync for going down the drain very fast. There's a mass self-destruction that's taking place, but each one harmonizing the other.
Thank you. Mr. Alexis.
What I've noticed is that there's a type of conglomerizing of Carnival, in which the music makers, the writers, the mass men, they are now coming together to present something. And that's where you find they actually employ a writer or a calypsonian who will lead, or they will lead what is going to happen Tuesday, Monday morning or Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So, and that's all because of the mighty dollar also. So that's one aspect we have to look at. It's a business, it's a conglomerate, people are getting together, and so the question of the danger of the music has to do also with the danger of the mass men and everybody.
Yeah, correct.
Good point.
Very good point.
One thing I'd like to say, it amazes me how the television, in the news tonight you'll see it, you see the winding up and early something. The way they show it close up, winding on a boomsy and all that, and the TV people know that little children looking at that, and you're not hearing any religious, maybe in I don't know the church, God forgive me.
Shame on you.
No, the children
the religious people objecting and doing anything, and there must be some, by the law of averages, maybe a few of us go to church. Why don't you tell your reverend pastor, pundit, imam to do something tangible, to object or go to the newspaper, but you're not hearing anything really about it, objecting. And every night now on TV, once Carnival around, Carnival Day, don't talk about Carnival Day, when they have the drinks in the air and they're on stage, you're seeing the most vulgar type of winding up, and what the churches doing anything.
Maybe it's because they don't want the priest or the pundit or whoever to know that they're watching it to principle.
Could be.
So it could be that, and a lot of people play mass. A lot of the same church people play mass. They are out there playing. They're not going to miss the march and the mass. They're not going. They put aside money for it, and they want to play the bikini mass and all the other things. They do that. What's interesting though is the way you have the men and everybody's dancing together. The men and the men, the woman and the woman, it's all in one sometimes. It's not just, you know, just a chipping anymore. Like, so you're quite right. It's sometimes shocking for your eyes and you're wondering, and they focus, the sensationalization, they focus on these things and you're like, what the heck is this? So yeah, I agree with you.
I think I'm in caught in a thing.
We ain't got in nothing.
Yeah. Pardon me?
We ain't got in nothing. Nazi Germany, 1933. Speaking about the music, why don't you join us? You look like you're in balcony and wind pit.
She will come if she has the mic in her hand.
Well, here it is.
She like to pass it around.
In 1933, when Hitler's rising to power, speaking about the music that this lady mentioned, Hitler had the Hitler youth. He turned up the bass in his PA. And the bass worked on their subconscious where they sing high for 23 minutes non-stop. All just saying two words, sing high, sing high,
Yeah.
sing high for about half an hour. The bass did that to them. So music is a dangerous weapon. Definitely no. Okay, we are losing our esteemed photographer, ladies and gentlemen. He has to go elsewhere where they paying him. Right, Hollis?
You speaking.
How rappers used to sample other people's music, a lot of super artists sampling